What is up, my brothers and sisters? So I just find it kind of hilarious and funny how everybody is getting off the harp, is getting off the G5 or whatever, the internet stuff, and then everybody's getting off the chemtrails, and then everybody's getting off the I don't know, whatever else they use as an excuse that the government's got to be involved. It's the government. They're the ones doing it. They're controlling the weather. They're manipulating the weather. They're destroying all the warehouses. They're ruining our food. They're lying about climate change. You know what? It's been the whole time. God. I've been saying it the whole time. I'm like, nobody ever gives God credit. And sure enough, now everybody's like, oh my God. Did you see the lights in the sky? Are you telling me? Wait a minute. Are you guys, because it's all over YouTube now, right? Like everybody's like, oh man, the geostorm, man, this is dangerous. It could take out life as we know it. And I'm like, you think? You know what the funny thing is? The government didn't have to do anything. That's right. They weren't involved in any of it. There's this spiritual entity, I believe, if I remember correctly. We call him God. And that God has control of the universe. And that God can end life as we know it whenever he wants on his watch. Okay? Maybe like people weren't acknowledging him and people were wanting to do bad things, and all these kids were like, who's God? Screw God, right? They're like, it's the government, right? It's got to be the government. The government's doing everything. Yeah, the government's involved in everything. You know what I can tell you for a fact the government is involved in? Lies. That's all. Lies. So, all these people who used to say it was chemtrails, it was HARP, it was 5G, it was all this stuff, right? It literally got narrowed down into one thing, and that is the sun. That's right. That big old ball of atomic bombs going off at one time. And the magnetic disturbances in your brain, your heart, the electrical systems, your phones, your money. Oh no. So, all the storms. No wonder there's so much lightning. No wonder the world is changing. You know, I think that space is kind of a cool thing. And if you look into it and you look at the magnetism and you look at magnetic poles, the way planets work, you'll find that the government had no control over any of this. All they were doing was lying. They wanted you to believe all that bullshit. You know why? Because they'd rather you think that than know what is really going on in the world. They'd rather you think that somebody went and set a match to the warehouse and burnt all the cows. They'd rather you think that somebody snuck in through the back and put a little bomb in one of these warehouses and started destroying all the food. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why? Why? They want you to think that they sprayed all these chemicals and destroyed all the crops and the animals and all that. And that's why I kept saying, like, you remember that movie Ice Age? Well, it's not just a movie. It's something that apparently happened a long time ago. And, there used to be like T-Rexes and Velociraptors and, like those things on that movie Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs? There you go. Yeah. And, well, apparently they used to live. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Everything's a lie. So, yeah. The reason why they want you to believe the lies more than the actual truth is because if you realize that God was involved in most of all this, you'd probably be worrying about your soul and not about all the bullshit distractions that they want you to believe. Yeah. So the weather, volcanoes, earthquakes, the burning of warehouses, the failing of electrical grids, it was never Trumpers destroying the substations. It was never the government burning all these things. It was never the government manipulating the weather. No, they didn't have to do any of that. You know why? Because it came for free. That's right, from the sunshine.